Oh, I was going to say, it just seems like that there are some of the same. When we look at institutions in general, right? Like
Yes.
parties are institutions, even if no matter how liberal or open they are, they're still institutions. There's still hierarchies. No matter how open and democratic we try to be, we still have hierarchies and preferences built into our systems. And it just
Right.
seems like we have similar problems across the board. However, and I know we talked about this before, that the Green Party as a whole has a much more, the base people involved are much more open to understanding that we do have isms and that we have to have meaningful action to address them, versus like in the Democratic Party, like, which I'll get into a little later with everyone, about how we just use that talk to just get over and vote. It just seems like within the Green Party, the people who are actually committed to changing these the biases within our process and systems. And I just had a quote from the comment in the chat. I like Jill Stein. I will be voting for her. I think that no one is trying to tell you who to vote for, who not to vote for, or who to support. But I just thought it would be very, very interesting to have one of the five people who are running for the Green Party presidential candidate right now. Because if you look at social media, if you look at the way things are presented, there are so many people who have no clue that Dr. Jill Stein is not the nominee. Just like for those of us who support Bernie Sanders, we're just very aggravated and angry every time mainstream media or the Hillary campaign or anyone else positions herself as being the nominee, no matter how close she is in the vote or how big her lead is. We are hypocrites if we do not call out the same thing elsewhere. Like, seriously. So that is really why I wanted to engage with you as well, because I really do think that we have a lot of people who are saying the Greens are our alternative, and we need to talk about what that looks like in terms of building up the party. Where is the party, and what needs to be done going forward? And I
Okay.
definitely appreciate everything you're talking about in terms of increasing support and engagement for people of color, because that's something, meaningful representation is something we are lacking within the Democratic Party, and it does not exist at all with the Republicans.
Sister, this is the question I ask every Green Party member from the day one when they started. I'm for Jill. Based on what are you for Jill? Tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want you to tell me. Is she talking about ending white privilege? Is she talking about, let's ask how come. They would say stuff like, she has name recognition. By who? She only got 400,000 votes. That's from my elementary school. Then they can't say anything. Oh, come on now. I'm logical. I want logic. Based on what? I don't make decisions because someone said that's the person to run with.
Right.
No. Is she a great leader? Leadership means you talk about the tough things. You question and inspire people to change within our own party first. I mean, let's get real here. So, folks, I after the debate on RT, several young Europeans, oh my God, we didn't know you were there. Why? Because she ain't saying my name. She ain't saying nobody but her own. Two, what person of color can run for 4 years to get a
Mm-hmm.
nomination?
Right.
I mean, let's get real. There's real reasons how come she's where she is. And none of those reasons have to do with what I'm talking about, which is changing and challenging our party to become ambassadors of the change we write about. But what are we actually doing? And I know in civic engagement, if everyone's at the table, a higher level of existence will happen. There's but these are a lot of European older males. They bring that from their realities.
Mm.
I just can't play. I'm 54 years old. I've had to deal with these people my whole life, be it in school, be it traveling, be it everywhere. Interesting enough, they had a forum down in Orange County. I think you would know what Orange County means.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, it's the curtain. And here I am, a Californian, and they're going to reach across the country to ask her to come. So I was sending them a little text, okay, what's going on? No one ever responded. So I drove down there and asked them, what's up? I mean, why would you do that? And then they included me, but then instead of saying presidential candidate, I'm a chapter lead for Black Lives Matter in Ghana. They're going to say Black Lives. No, I'm a presidential candidate. I'm a presidential candidate. That took effort and issue. You see what I mean? Went to Democracy Now!, wrote them, but they've never acknowledged that she is not it. There is a wall of stupidity and ignorance that exists within on the left that is scary to me. How we gonna really have a revolution and you can't even be honest about your own isms? You know what I mean? Like I was raised and I was educated. Truth is the highest level of love. So I just keep looking at people like, at what point will they understand that the truth gonna come out? And her story and history will judge me right and well. I'm very proud of the legacy of truth and honesty about saving my party. I love the Green Party. Love it. We care about, for me, the most important issue is climate change. But all these other things that we talked about are prohibiting folks who are going to be the most impacted from getting on board on the political wing of what can happen.
I had a statement from the chat room. Michael Salomon, I have issues with Green Party's long global history of being co-opted by intelligence agencies, but refuse to go further than statement in public spaces. But Stein, in general, I feel, has been trying to run her campaign like Hillary, co-opting progressives and ignoring that she has competition for her nomination. And I think, like you just said, like the biggest thing is just even the acknowledgement. No one's saying that if she wins the nomination, come to convention, because the Green Party, like the other parties, has a convention in August in Houston, and that is when the final determination will be made. The notion of an heir apparent, it is discouraging to people, for one, and it also sends the wrong message. If we're really going to have real representation and meaningful political engagement, we really need to get rid of this inevitability, popularity contest stuff across all parties, right? We can't have moral superiority and then still be doing the same thing, which comes across a lot of her tweets.
Call her out. I'm going to repeat.
Dr. Jeff Stein spends a lot of time attacking Hillary Clinton in particular. I do find that there are some things that she does that, to me, seems very similar to what we're saying Hillary does to Bernie Sanders. That is not to say...
Anoa. What did I say Jill's name was?
Jillery.
So call her out. If there was...
This is not about infighting. Let me just respond to the comment. The comment is, with all the issues we are having with the Dems, the last thing we need is fighting with the Greens. Here's the thing, right? It's not about infighting. It's about process, right? So if we want to have a strong party, if we want to have a strong option, we need to be following the processes. We can't say, okay, we just need to get our numbers and we'll work on those issues later. That doesn't work. We need to really engage.
Can I clarify something?
Go ahead.
The truth is never a fight, and there's never an issue with the truth. So no one's going to silence me from speaking the truth. No one should silence anyone from speaking the truth. And this is the reality. Anyone who says that to you, ask them about their privilege to say that out loud. The majority of people who will be affected by global warming and climate change are folks of color. So if a woman of color who has lived abroad for the majority of her adult life, who became a Green because the votes were not good in Florida, says out loud about the bias and the ignorance she's facing, who the hell are you or anybody to say infighting? This is the truth. If Dr. Stein had did that one simple thing, say our name. Say our name. And, the other thing that happened was that she reached out to the Sanders campaign. I think it's called Stockholm Syndrome. You know about that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I stopped being a Democrat because of the history, because of their behavior, because of their corporate financing, because of their love of capitalism. I don't want to reach out to those same people who I've reached out to, which is more Democrats are independents and non-corporate funded parties. I participated in several debates as well as started being involved with what's called the United Coalition. There's more
Okay.
Americans that don't vote. I'm reaching out to those disaffected people. We want to change the reality. And changing means changing the dynamics and the paradigm of what we do. I have called for the abolition of the Electoral College. I've called for public elections. I've called for children to be able to vote. Those are serious change, not reforms, changes.
Mm-hmm.
So again, and everything for me is based on sustainability and security. If we don't help ensure that every person on the planet realize that global warming and climate change is real, we will all go down. It's real that simple. So me speaking the truth is not a fight, it's the truth. And I'm standing on higher ground. No, look how from July people have been saying that about Dr. Stein. Do I care? I'm running on truth and love. And again, my legacy is cemented by me just speaking the truth. And then again, being, again, we're black women. And if it wasn't for a civil war, if it wasn't for affirmative action, and if it wasn't for abolitionists, where could you and I be having this conversation?
I mean, yeah, like it took a lot.
So you have to just say the truth to people. Whoever it is, my dad was a veteran, yet my father, black man, was not able to take advantage of the housing opportunities because of isms. He wasn't able to take advantage of going to the college he wanted to because of isms. And it was like, he says it before he passed, it was a blessing in disguise, because I would have bought into the integration and like middle class understanding of America, but because they denied me, look at you, my daughter, got a degree in Black Studies, you've lived abroad, we lived in the Pueblos, a housing project, raised a standard of understanding there. So, everything, her running might be the catalyst for us to say, okay, that's it. Look what happened. I'll just give you a little background. Those crazy people, those organic ignore mechanism European males, and 2 of them, and then 3 females, canceled a General Assembly in January in San Diego because I was going to be there. They came up saying some rules, and I'm like, please, Green Party, look, we like love each other. Who care about that rule? You know what I mean? And it wasn't anything. But they created this whole chaos and crisis because I said, I'm going to be there and I'm going to get on the stage. And everybody know if I say I'm doing it, I'm going to do it.
Right. So
because these 5 people unauthorized, immorally canceled that GA because of me, 4 of the candidates came up with a petition and saying that they won't come if they won't allow me. Dr. Stein never outreached to me directly. She never wrote. She never signed any of that. But look what happened. Just 2 weeks ago, I went up to our San Francisco GA. People pissed off that these people did that, got up and finally spoke openly about the dysfunctionalisms of that California party. And I said it. Y'all dysfunctional. This is a majority brown state, but look around the room. We got 2 brown brothers and 2 sisters.
Right.
So that means you're failing and it's dysfunctional. You can talk about all you want to, but when I look around, I don't see my state. But y'all they get 65 delegates to go to our convention, but they canceled the GA. You see, we got chaos. I keep telling everybody it's going to be a contentious convention. Everybody not happy with this push down your throat stuff. No, we stop being corporate so that we can be organic and truly grassroots. Who has been the most green grassroots candidate? Moi. I put everybody's picture. I say everybody's name. I send them emails. I want everybody to be connected. I'm not threatened by anybody because I'm speaking the truth. And if you're speaking the truth, what's the end fight? It's called the truth. It's called the truth.